Downloads folder, we're going to go to the Mosaic ReeR M1S ReeR. You can see that there are files for EtherCAT, Ethernet IP, as well as Profinet. So if we go Profinet, there's only one firmware version right now currently. And then we're going to import this GSDML file. So if we double click on it, we can hit OK and it's going to add it to our project. Now I already have it. So for me, I'm going to hit cancel. Now we're going to find this over here in the locals tab under network. We're going to go to devices, ReeR, M1S, general, and then this is the actual device itself. So this is the one you're going to drag over here to the tree. The field bus and system IO are automatically added as number 1 and number 2. And then if you have analog data and or speed data, you would then have to drag this module over and add it to the tree. Now I'm not sending any analog data because that has to be configured inside the M1S, so I'm going to delete it for now just so it doesn't cause any problems. All right, now that we have it added to the Profinet tree, we're going to go ahead and double click on it. We're going to go to settings. This is where we're going to set up the IP address, the gateway, and the name of the station, which is important for Profinet. And that's really the only thing that you have to change in here. You do need to tag some IO, so if you go to the field bus input, this is where you're going to see the data list, and you're going to be able to see the name of the data. So field bus input bytes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, the ReeR can send us some statuses, but they're bit level. So they can only tell us if it's on or off. And then if we go to system IO, this is where you're going to see a bunch more of the regular data that you're going to see, like input status bytes, probe status bytes, OSSD status bytes, things like that. We have them all tagged here just so that we can build an HMI page later. You don't have to tag everything if you don't want to. So now that we've got sort of the module set up, if we double click on the Profinet, you pick your adapter, you hit the little scan the network. The software is going to go out and search for Profinet devices that are on the network. It went ahead and found our Profinet station, and we already have it attached here. But if it wasn't attached, you can right click on it, hit add to project, or you can assign and write properties. So if this was set up here, but this station wasn't set up yet, you can actually push the settings from here to there and then set the module up that way. Now we're just going to look at we're actually going to look at this Profinet table. So if we open the ReeR manual, which is also available for download on their website, this is the process data map for the M1S comm. So this is going to have the data map for EtherCAT, Ethernet IP, Modbus TCP, and Profinet. So we're going to skip all the way down to Profinet, page 36. So now in page 36, you can see that all of this is mapped out for us here. Our OSSD statuses, our analog data, our speed data if we need it. And then if we get to the end, we get to this record data. Now, because we're using the RFIDs in our project, we want to know which RFID sensor was tripped. So if we have 5 in line, we could name each door 1 through 5, and then if somebody opens door 4, we could actually read from the safety controller that door 4 has been opened. Now this is a bit weird because this is not cyclic data. This is data that you have to actually ask for. So I'm going to set that up here in just 1 second. All right, now that we have this all set up in Profinet, again, I already have this program mostly built, so we're just going to go online with it just to see what happens. So we go here, we're already connected to the PLC. We're going to do debug mode. We're going to open the main code. We're going to look at code 1. This is where our record data is being asked for. So again, if we look here, this is actually 13 because 13 in hex is 19 in decimal. And then the index and the maximum length are in decimal. So now that we're online, we can go to the system IO. We can go to the data list. And if you notice, we're getting data back from the PLC. or sorry, we're getting data back from the M1 comm. And if I were to go over there and break the light curtain or pull the RFID chains, you would see some of these values change. Now it's a little bit easier on a screen. So what we did was we built an HMI that shows the ReeR M1 comm, the light curtain that we have, the safety sensors. So if we go over here and actually break the light curtain, you'll see that we get a red X and we're no longer safe. And if I pull one or two of the RFID sensors, it takes a minute for us to get that record data, but you'll see that it went not safe immediately, and then a few seconds later we get updated with which RFID sensors that I pulled. And if I put them back in line, you'll see that as soon as I put them back in line, we go into safe state, and it shows us that the sensors are back into safe state. So again, just a very quick overview of how to connect it over Profinet. I could go into a more detailed video later.